be uploaded into a giant police facial recognition database.
We now have extremely sophisticated facial recognition technology. We've got quite deep databases.
You know, the problem with all this is this, right? For anyone who's listening, I know that Andy the Gabby Cabby, he's not in the best. He wasn't in the best mood with me earlier, but this is just me, innit? You know, look, I don't know what this Secretary of State for the Home Office is doing. I mean, who's he talking to? Who's he addressing? He's talking to the nation and saying, we don't trust you. We want all your faces on a deep database because you're all criminals. That's basically what he's saying. Who is he talking to? Like, who's he addressing? Like the executive of Shell? You know, his girlfriend? You know, just the other ministers except minus Bridge. And who is he talking to? The police chiefs? Is this like a Theresa May Police Federation statement? Who is he actually addressing? Because half the country aren't voting. Is he saying that because half the country aren't voting, they must be criminal? You know? That Noel Wilcox guy, he's won a case in the courts that say Transport for London were prosecuting people illegally and they got to give the fines back. And, you know, this, you know, and that court cases, you're supposed to comply with court cases, not comply with them. Now, if this government, the government doesn't seem to think that it ever does anything wrong. The government doesn't seem to think that it is the problem. Yet, why have we got investigation after investigation after investigation into the government without them doing anything? You know? Even courts. I mean, what's the point in going to court? We go to court, and when we go to court, they make us comply and obey, right? You know, unless we appeal it, which most people cannot afford. You know, every time you ask the government something, you know, about courts, they say, oh, we can't do anything. We can't do anything. You know, you'll have to go to court. We can't do anything. When you actually go to court against the government, right, they're not saying, oh, we can't do anything. They're actually saying, oh, we can do what we want. Stonehenge Tunnel, you know, blocked by a court. Yet the huge transport department just don't care. They're not saying, oh, go to the courts then. Well, we went to the courts. The same with the Department of Transport in this Noel Wilcox case. You know, they're like, oh, we went to the court. They said that, you know, it's all illegal. So therefore, you know, pay all the fines back. Well, you know, we're not going to, you know. Well, if it was us, you know, they say go to the courts. So, you know, it seems to me that the government actually don't believe that they have to comply with the courts. But when it's us, then they say, you know, we have to comply with the courts and the government can't do anything. But when it's the government, oh, they can do something. They can just not comply. Get their lawyers. But get their lawyers on what? Taxpayer money. Taxpayers who take the government to court because they've done something unlawfully don't pay their taxes, so the lawyers can use that taxpayer money to oppose them and take us back to court again with our own money. That evades the point. This I've had it with characters like this guy. If we carry on, if we continue with the way this guy is going, you know, and Rishi Sunak's, you know, satellite controlled cars, we're going to end up worse than China. Because, you know, it's going to be worse than China. It will be worse than China and Russia put together. It will be like Russia plus China plus this idiot. We've got to stop these people. They're obsessive compulsive. I mean, how do they even get into government? You know, not by half the nation, that's for sure. They don't get in nation by half the people. They don't even get elected by about a third of the people. They're just AWOL. Completely and totally AWOL. It is a fascist regime now. And they just want to do what they want.